business. I've joined as Chief Commercial Activities Officer, which I was specifically requested and tasked by Professor Ian to help with the transformation that all universities, in particular a university like Sasin, are going through right now. It's an acceleration of trends that were already happening, but COVID has made everything happen like 100 times faster. And in particular, the transition to online education. There's an expression that I heard from Dave Roberts and I use all the time now, although I am accrediting him for the moment, that at the moment the technology is the worst it is ever going to be. So when it comes to online education, when it comes to remote skills training and remote working and things like this, the technology at the moment is the worst it's ever going to be. So as it gets very rapidly developed over the next few years, because it's basically an enormous social experiment, and then we'll find out. And that enormous rapid movement of people onto these online platforms, not just online education, anything else, they're getting trained to do things online, which means they don't want to go back to the old analog, what, I have to get in my car and drive there, are you kidding me, method of doing it. This is going to have all kinds of synergistic and exponential multiplying effects, affecting all kinds of areas. So it's not unlikely that the university sector is going to change more in the next 5 years than it has in the last 500. When things are relatively stable, when you can do next year what you did last year, then incremental changes are okay. But when things are changing as fast as they are now, the quality of the leadership in government, in business, entrepreneurial leadership, healthcare leadership, suddenly it's life and death. Literally life and death. And the development of that leadership and the training of that leadership is more important now than it has been for decades and decades. So the difficulties of traveling that are probably going to continue for a while means that countries do need to become more self-reliant. And Sasin, what's been achieved since Sasin's founding, becoming obviously #1 in Thailand, but also number 14 in Asia as a business school, and number 43 in the world for executive, to be a top 50 program, to be top 15 in Asia, top 50 in the world, is an amazing achievement. And it's a fantastic asset for Thailand to develop the leadership that it's going to need to get through the next few years. Because when you've got periods of rapid change, the decisions of the leadership at the top have an outsized impact compared to when you have a period of stability. You call me Dr. John at the beginning. That original doctor was a medical degree, but my background after medicine was in business, a little bit like finance, investment banking, other things. And then in particular, in the early 2000s, I started a business in Cambridge, England, called Enterprise Accelerator. I was co-founder with a number of successful Cambridge entrepreneurs. And we developed ways of what was known as the Enterprise Accelerator process, which is a way of helping early stage companies. And the British government saw what we were doing, and through the Department of Trade and Industry funded me to take this program national. So I got to see and work with hundreds and directly mentor over 100 early stage companies, both in technology and in the creative space, which was to see so many different markets, to see so many different trends, to see so many different teams. Also, because I was doing that with the UK government, I got to interact with the university sector in the UK through supporting how they were trying to do support innovation through that. So I had that experience. I've been working with Ananda Development here in Thailand. I was the Chief Strategic Development Officer there, which means my role was to develop new business lines. Rather than incremental change to existing business, to be able to start completely new businesses within the company, which we did a few of those. I could see how I could have an impact and help the development of Thailand's innovation ecosystem. So I did a number of activities, including ecosystem support events, bringing people over from all around the world who were the leaders in their fields, both real estate, finance, technology, and we did one event where we brought over the technology transfer offices of Cambridge University, Stanford University, Berkeley University, brought them to our office in Bangkok, and they shared with the leaders of the top 40 universities in Thailand best practices in how to do innovation support innovation at universities. That had never been done anywhere in the world before. So the background that I have, the experience, seeing hundreds of different business models, the background that I have of developing new businesses within an existing organization, and the background that I have to be able to reach around the world to find top people and persuade them to come and help us here in Thailand. I hope that set of skills, even though I have no experience in the education sector itself, I hope those skills will be of use to Sasin. It's a huge challenge, but also enormous opportunity. As I mentioned earlier, the quality of leadership is more important now than it has been in decades. And if we fail in what we're trying to do here at Sasin, transforming Sasin to deal with this new education environment, if we fail and Thailand becomes completely reliant on developing its top leadership in other countries, I don't think that's good for the country. So if we're successful in what we try to do here, it'll impact everybody here in Thailand, which is the country that's my home right now.